Hey boys, Adachi Gotcha here. Disclaimer, the information in this video will be purely from my own perspective. There are some galaxy brain people out there that will data mine rates, but I'm not one of them. There is a Japanese pulled spreadsheet of drop rates that I will leave in the description below. Unfortunately, it is a lot of data, and I have no means of effectively translating it. For anyone that can, amazing. You have a great resource right there. Otherwise, here's where I think you should be farming your skill crystallines at. We're going to start with the most important of these skill crysts, and that is the tier 1 white crysts. These are used in essentially every skill node, and you will never have enough. For that reason, I suggest the Yggdrasil Free Quest World Tree Investigation. This map seems like it was made for white crysts, and it'll give you a handful of other crysts and level cap materials as you farm hundreds of these. Now for tier 2 elemental crysts, I'm going to suggest to stick on Yggdrasil. You'll never have enough white crysts, and you'll progressively get the colors as well. The next best situation is to stick to farming the tier 3 colored crysts, as these quests will also be dropping you tier 2 crysts. If you're earlier on though and dead set on farming tier 2s, I'll suggest these locations. For tier 2 greens, I'd suggest the Brana Plains or Groggia Mountains. Tier 2 blues, I'd head to the Rubel coastline, noticing a trend. Tier 2 purples, I'd run Aldana, Catacombs, and maybe Arden Border. I've had better luck in the Catacombs though. And last is tier 2 reds, which is the most obvious here at the Malboria Lava Caves. Now for the rest of these suggestions, I'd aim to clear the highest quest you can auto within the nodes. If you notice their drop consistency isn't good enough, I'd drop down a stage in the list and start trying that one. For tier 3 blues, I suggest the Lanzelia Snow Plains. For tier 3 purples, I would suggest the Lanzelia Mountains or the Lanzelia Palace Ruins. I've found better luck with the Lanzelia Mountains though. For tier 3 reds and greens, I haven't been able to find any consistent spots. I'd suggest unlocking hard mode for the Malboria Lava Caves and the Groggia Mountains. The colors seem to stay consistent with the stages from tier 2 to tier 3, and hard mode starts to allow you to farm tier 3s from older quests. The drop rate could even be better on hard mode for these older quests, but I haven't farmed enough of them to suggest that. And that's all for the Crysts. For level cap materials, I'd suggest farming them on the Yggdrasil map, otherwise continue to get them specifically with the Friend Point shop or Friend Point Gacha. As a bonus, in tandem with farming Crysts is farming XP and skills, so I'll just cover a couple tips really quick. There's no shortcut to this unless you're a whale. Farm with your arcs when you have the orbs available and need to start teaching new skills. You can see the rate at which you get AP per stage next to the arc skills at the end of the battle screen here. This can be increased during certain events, so this is when you'll want to grind these out. Experience is gained at a higher rate depending on the difficulty of the quest. Overall, I wouldn't obsess over your level, but if you're in whale territory, you can get a lot of XP off of event dungeons. I obtained a bit short of 2k per unit on the Purple Cryst dungeon on hard. Otherwise, if you aren't a whale, I would suggest once again the Yggdrasil map. Here you're going to be farming white crysts and you'll be getting a decent amount of XP, and you're going to be running it so often that you're going to get enough XP in the long run. Otherwise, just farm the highest level quest that you can auto on so that way you can do other things while your team is grinding out XP. And there you have it. I hope this helps some of you out when it comes to grinding out your skill crysts. Just keep in mind these things take time, so always make sure to grind as much as you can handle and nothing more. The only person you're competing with as far as progress goes is yourself. The only thing I'm going to plug today is if you do have any questions or your own suggestions, I'd love to see them in the comments below. And I just wanted to say, honestly, super big thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We hit 100 just over the weekend, and I'm absolutely blown away by the support. And we're already nearing 200. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. I appreciate every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.